today is a very special day. It is launch day for the all-new 2026 Redbook. No better people here to launch it with us is the new editor,
Senior editor,
Jeff Garrett, and the publisher, John Feigenbaum. Welcome to the Coin Show podcast.
Thanks for having us on. This is
Thank you.
Good to see you guys again.
Yeah, always good to see you guys. So it's a big day. Tell us what we've all been anticipating.
Jeff, I'll let you go.
Well, the Redbook has been around since 1947, and I remember back in the 70s when I was first involved with coins that coin dealers wouldn't even price their coins until the new Redbook came out. Right. So the Redbook coming out has been a big deal for a long, long time. And this week is the launch of the new Redbook, which is most people might know about, is been redesigned. So the Coin Dealer Newsletter Group bought Whitman Publishing a couple of years ago, and it was a process to look at it and his team and figure out what we do to make it better. And after a lot of talks, we really decided this book needed to be more about how people collected coins and not just because it's always been done the same way. And John is very innovative, and there's a lot of great things in this book, and I can't wait to see what people think about what's been done to it. So it's a really great book, and it's probably the most consequential launch of Redbook that's happened in the last 25 years.
Yeah,
So
I
that's my
agree.
opinion on it.
We got a copy yesterday, and I was just kind of going through it. And one of the things I really liked was the QR codes that say "Scan here for more info," and I think that is the epitome of. Because people still love books. Everybody's, the coin guys are set in their ways. They still love to have the book on their shelf. But this way, we bring it forward into the future with the ability to have that extra information.
Right. Like this.
Yep, right there.
Yeah.
And so what does that do? Like when you scan that, it takes you to the more updated data, or is it
More in depth too?
Right. What this is, it's part of the crossover, as Jeff said. We've done a lot of changes to this Redbook. I've really put a lot of pressure on the team, and Jeff was just awesome to work with in that regard. But we wanted to do several things. There were already some QR codes in the book, but what we did was we now connected those QR codes to graysheet.com website information, because the Whitman.com website is really designed to sell books and albums and things like that. It's not an informational site, as it were. So what we're doing here is you scan those QR codes and you're going to learn more about shipwrecks. You're going to learn more about Buffalo Nickels or whatever series we have the QR codes on. And then, we obviously want to get you into the ecosystem, because the pricing on the 2026 Redbook, of course, it's out of date the day it comes out. So the only way to be in date is to really be a member of our website. And so and there's just much more information. We've also included, this is pretty radically new, because the Redbook was one of the only catalogs in the world for collectibles that didn't have an identifying number for items in it.
really?
Strangely,
I never knew that.
right? You think about it, like the
house numbers.
the Krause numbers, or dot catalog and stamps, or Friedberg, right? We all know. We don't say that a Friedberg note is a National Bank note or series, whatever.
What's CFR number?
What's the CFR number? And so at Graysheet, at CDN, we've been working on this catalog for. Really, I've been working on most of my professional life, 25 years or so, building this extensive catalog. And now we put those numbers into the book, which is one reason why the book is physically larger.
Wow, I didn't know that.
And we've replaced the pricing with Graysheet, retail pricing at the same time. So we're doing all kinds of crossover and things like that. It's a really exciting year for that. And then Jeff did much more editorial, because he didn't have to work on the pricing side. He could jump into the editorial side.
I was just going to say, I noticed that the sections of all the coins seem to have expanded, and it sounds like that's exactly what you did there. And I love
it. Better for collectors. And another thing about Redbook has always been pressure. U.S. Mint comes out every year with new issues, and of course the book wants to include new issues, and that becomes a real big constant page count problem. And the way we've redesigned some of the things, we take out some redundancies out of the book. It gives more room to expand other sections and make it so that we can accommodate the new ones. It got so bad in the last 10 years or so that there was even discussions at Whitman about making a Redbook into two editions, like go up to like 1964 and then 1964 and beyond. So because that new mint issue is such much pressure from the page count, but through innovation, the book is not expanded, but it has more information, and we'll be able to condense things and get rid of redundancy. So that was an important improvement.
Well, I will tell you, that's one of the things that impressed me most, because the hobby industry and the book industry in this hobby is kind of stayed, and it's pretty stable. To innovate there is really tough. And what you've done is you've linked the print world and the digital world with this book. You've taken something that is going to be print, so it's solid. When the lights go out, you still read it. But at the same time, with the QR codes, that information can constantly be updated.
That's right.
And you can bring people who may be reluctant to go into the digital world right to the place they need to be, which will make it an easier experience for them. That's an innovation. That's really something that's going to expand, readership.
Yeah, that's interesting. I hadn't really thought of it exactly the way you're saying it. The QR codes were there prior to the 26th edition. However, what is amazing about QR codes, they're pretty low tech, but you can change their destination anytime.
Yep.
So today Standing Liberty quarter page goes to such and such, but we could change that and make it into, we can send it to Wikipedia. I can send it anywhere I want, change it, make it better tomorrow.
Yep.
It makes, like you said, it's alive. And we are only, this first year was such a radical, like, hey, we got to change the skeletal pieces, that it's only good. The 27 edition is going to be exciting.
Yeah.
We just, Jeff and I are a little nervous because we made such radical changes to the book that, we want it to be well received.
I was just going to mention that if people are used to the old Whitman Red books, when you get this one, I was going through it, and it's different. There's a lot of really cool, just like, did you knows and
well, but let's make something clear. This book, the 2026 Red Book, is still the same book that it has been in all the ways that you expect.
right.
But
That's true.
the things that they've done have been, they've updated the pricing structure. They've updated the information in it. It's the way that a book is set up is different. I loved getting a chance to take a look at it yesterday and just looking through the way things are. The pricing, I looked at it as more realistic.
Yeah, which has been a
something
complaint for a long time.
As a dealer, I kind of hesitate on it because, look, it's still older pricing information. It's not going to be up to date, but it's going to be as close, and at least way closer than it has been in the past. And to me, that makes it a more usable book.
Yeah, and for me, one of the biggest challenges that I like this book, and I think is one of the greatest things about the book, is to make sure the book is if you started collecting yesterday, you want to get this book and it's going to educate you.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been collecting 25 years and you're a serious expert, this book is still required on your desk.
Yeah.
And to bridge those between like subtle beginners and super experts, that's really a big deal to be able to do that, because you want a book there's not many books that kind of is considered required by everybody.
Right. And I think John and I had talked about this before, that the Red Book is the quintessential book. I mean, it is the #1 selling numismatic book in the world.
But there's a reason for it.
Well,
and it's because
what
the researcher can use this book because it has that kind of information in it, and the novice can use it because it has that kind of information.
Exactly. And
it's friendly to all of them.
Yep.
Right. And I think something that really needs to be said is that as fosters, as custodians of the Red Book today, I mean, the whole point of the Red Book and the whole point of us really getting involved in the print publishing side of things and doing the Red Book and wanting to improve it is because of the love that we have for the hobby, right? This is because, I mean, it sells, we're going to sell 250,000 copies between Red Book and Blue Book. Maybe we hope more, but that is an amazing number, first of all, in the publishing world, period, today. But how vital is that to the customer base of our hobby?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we feel a very big responsibility, and we love it at Whitman. And one of the things that you mentioned, Matt, was like, so we added these, we had white space on the page.
Yeah.
So instead of leaving it white, we were saying, well, by the way, do you know that the 1792 halftime on the opposing page is one of the 100 greatest points? What number is that in Jeff's book? Number 14. So we tie those in together. And then we also do shout outs.
There's one to the 20-cent piece too. That's really
76
cool.
BC, right? Did you know that they're all double struck, maybe, or something? Fun factoids like that.
Gobrick dollars. Remember how much time we spent?
We spent, oh my
I spent
God,
3 days on Gobrick dollars on studying it, and it's a series. I only made them for 3 years, but it's like so complicated you wouldn't believe it.
Right.
Now it's totally updated now, and every Gobrick dollar is listed.
Yeah.
The commemorative section, was that the one that got the big expansion? because the commemorative section really,
It's been
really,
redesigned.
Well,
It's reimagined.
It got
Yes.
reimagined. It got actually shrunk. Why?
Really?
Because it turned out that all the modern commemoratives in the first 10 or 15 years, they would write lovely, beautiful descriptions about
yes,
the origin story.
yeah,
But once now we're I don't know how many 30 years or 40 years into the program, and the book is becoming thicker and thicker. They hadn't really updated the last 10 years, so they ran out of room. So we said, look, let's call that another book. If you love modern commemoratives, we're going to write you we'll publish a book for you. But
that's a Bowers series book, right? I mean, that's
it should be.
Yeah.
And in this particular, by the way, we're calling this Redbook series now.
Okay.
This is the new. No, I mean it's just a matter of rebranding
Sure.
things. The Redbook series books will be the sub books under the Redbook, and that's kind of the idea. But we also, I just want to say that we want to shout out to nonprofit organizations like the ANA or these other, the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
We gave Smithsonian an ad, the National Collection.
Yeah.
There's one for Women Expo, but we do it for Conica. We're not, that's a lot of exposure for these organizations.
Yeah.
We're trying to help the organizations in our hobby.
Yeah. And like John mentioned earlier, what I'm excited about is my editor job now is like, since he's doing pricing and I don't have to worry about that, next year we're going to make when we have the same conversation next year and hopefully the same show in March, I'll be able to say you can't believe how many not improvements, but even being rotating, next year we're going to examine maybe silver dollars and in depth, and you can so we can every year we can have something different that makes a book. Because I mean, to be honest, the book didn't change a lot, over a 10 or 15 year period, except for pricing. But now the editorial content is going to have a lot more focus, and I'm really excited about that part and the opportunity to do that.
It's fun.
It seems like an amazing tool that you guys have molded this into, for collectors and dealers. Even like I said, I consult the Redbook occasionally when I'm at the office and I need to know something.
They've taken on something that was an icon in this hobby,
Right?
And have put an imprint on it that we can all look at and go, yeah, okay.
We'll see. We want to see how the market.
Well, I'll tell you, your market of one here is
Right.
thumbs up and very approving. I use this book every day, so it's something. I don't know if this is really relevant, but the Mega Red, is this going to affect the Mega Red?
No, the Mega Red skipped a year of publishing.
Okay.
So they're making an announcement about us. Jeff and I are doing a signing of these Red books here in a moment. But the Mega Red took a year off while we got our ducks in a row.
Sure.
And we want to do something similar for the Mega Red. We want to improve it. We want to clean it up. And we've had a lot of, I think more people have asked me about Mega Red than any other book title.
It's super popular.
Mega Red, I can tell you, because I was so deeply involved in it. It's the most information in the history of numismatics in one book, and it's probably the biggest bargain in the history of numismatics in a book.
Yeah.
But it is a massive amount of work to put together.
Yes,
so it's
and you need a really big shelf to put them all on.
Yeah,
they are heavy.
It's a unique numismatic publication.
It's the Encyclopedia Britannica of numismatics, American numismatics. Yeah,
the shelf. It's in one.
That's
book.
right. That's right.
We will be coming out with Mega Red. It's on the schedule, and it's not dated with a year. It's an edition. So the last edition was the 9th edition. So the 10th edition Megas will be coming. We just want to do it well. So we're not going to rush it, but we'll get it out there.